Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash, divine smart apostles, great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful members, the elect, the Becharim of the house of David, that's been preordained, predestined to get delivered in these last times and to be the ruling governing body of the nation of Yasha'Allah. Now, this is from Dabu 77, and as the title reads, Super Creepy Economist Magazine cover signals war, pestilence, and financial collapse in 2026, right? And as you can see in this picture, okay, he's going to show it all, but a picture speaks 1,000 words, and these elites, they put things out there in the forefront, like in movies, TV shows, video games, media, okay? They put it out there, they throw it out there as subliminal messages because they're like law, okay? They gotta warn the people. So I guess, again, this is what they believe, so the karma won't come back on them. So it's like, well, we did warn you guys, all right? So they give out the warning, but they do it through their subliminal messaging, and this is one of them. And in this magazine, you're gonna see it, all right? Dabu's gonna speak on it. I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth. Okay, so let's just watch this.
Hey guys, Dabu7. We've got the new Economist magazine cover here that's already raising some concern and people questioning, wow, I wonder what's going to happen here in 2026. Well, we've looked at this in years past, and yes, this thing has had some accuracy in calling out things that are depicted. This is a magazine that the Rothschilds have been connected to since, like, the inception for a long time. Even though they were recently talking about trying to sell a portion of it, they're still connected, and this magazine is made kind of for the elites, and it's their way, as I see it, to telegraph little things that are going to come, that are expected in the time ahead. Now here, I'm just going to try to dive into this whole thing kind of quickly and point out some key things that I've seen. Because again, the track record is good for them in terms of pointing out things that have come true. And you can see America front and center. Right here, the flag, it's in shackles. Not a good sign. On its birthday, 250, which happens 4th of July of 2026.
Let me say something too about
now,
that.
There's a lot going on.
250, they say every majority of empires, they always had a 250 reign. Okay. So I'm going to play this again.
On here. And you'll see plenty of robots, drones, bombs in the background, blasts, fires on the horizon.
Let me just get the scripture, okay, and I'll go back to the full screen. This is Revelation 12, verse 12, because these are the times we are living in. All that hell's about to break loose. These elites are about to just go ahead and push further into their, into their plans to implement their NWO, and part of that is the mark of the beast, which is the chip. Revelation 12, verse 12. All right. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. That's the elect. Because we want this place to go down, and Yahweh shall return and implement his kingdom. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So these elites are hurrying up the process now. Let's go.
Ships, and even a satellite or two. This one is shooting at a vessel. It's a weapon. And it hits a boat that looks like it's carrying containers, but they pop open and it's actually guns, and they fire a shot. Now who's the shot going at? America. You also see the red balloons on the birthday. There's a total of 7 around in the entire thing. You'll see 2 big red tanks that are kind of ominous across the entire thing. Zelensky sitting up here. Mahdi, Maloney, I do believe here, and a bunch of these robot dogs and robots all over the place.
Yeah.
You'll see the robots.
Yeah, those robots are just becoming more prevalent. I was just thinking about that the other day. Like you're gonna start seeing robots in your stores, being your cashier. Don't be surprised. All right, don't be surprised. They might, start pushing it out in China first, and then once that becomes like the new norm in America, this can all happen quickly. This all can happen in the next 8 months from now. All right, and then robot dogs. I had dreams about robot dogs. Okay, let's continue.
Again and again, some melting ice cubes and what looks to be pills all over the place. Some are going to say they could be Tic Tacs, UAPs, UFOs, all this other stuff,
Kind of
but
links
they
to the
look like pills,
pharmaceuticals.
different colors, same size, the round ones and then the oval ones, all over the place. And I'm going to come back to the center here for last. Let's look at the bottom because I want to point out you're looking at one big soccer ball. This is a guy down on the bottom kicking a soccer ball. So I looked up quite a few things from what I've seen in that.
And let me just, I'm gonna go back to this, but let me just, because I asked ChatGPT, what do you see? All right, I asked ChatGPT, what do you see? Dive into the whole conspiracy theory. Okay, let's just jump right to it. Number one, the giant blue fist, the new power block. A massive blue hand dominates the top. A fist is always revolution, uprising, or new dominance. Possible symbolic meanings: a rising global power. Blue equals UN, EU, tech, corp, corp, corporatocracy. AI is a new ruler. Blue equals cold digital machine. A united global movement replacing old powers. The fist is above the world, not inside it. That suggests something outside traditional nation states taking control. AI, mega corporations, a global alliance, a manufactured uprising. This is the first warning. Number two, the red and blue chaos. I'm gonna go back to Dabu, but let me continue. Control disorder. Everything in the image is either blood red or cold blue, no neutral colors. Red equals conflict, war, finance, aggression. Blue equals structure, technology, control. Together, red plus blue equals control chaos. This is a common theme in conspiracy lore. Crisis creates order. Order requires a crisis, right? Hegelian dialectic, okay? Governments or elites letting the world shake but making sure they stay in charge. Satellite, and it's going to be outside their damn control too. It's about to be all that hell breaking loose. You know, satellites, drones, and cameras everywhere. There are multiple satellites around the globe. A single person is holding a cable connected to the whole world. Symbolic decode. Uh, Global surveillance increasing. Right, and that's what they want, and that's what they're pushing, and that's what we already live in a surveillance world. Cyber warfare, control of information, one operator pulling the strings, a conspiracy language, one network to watch all humanity. Number four, the X-ray scanner and biological symbols, biosurveillance. Woo, biosurveillance. How do you do that? The chip. Okay, biology, your body. Surveillance, they're gonna do that by implanting a chip inside you. I see medical symbols, DNA like shapes. You see DNA. Syringes, Karax, in Revelation 13, verse 16, that word mark in the Greek is charagma, that's the chip, the graven idol, but the root word is karax, syringe, needle, and then the latter root word is graphos, data, info, writings, information stored in that chip. It says hospital gear. See, this cluster hints at biotechnology booming. Biotechnology booming. You already have Neuralink, uh, uh, Synchron. These are companies, corporations that deal with implanting chips inside of you, inside of your brain. Okay, you know what it says in Revelation 13 verse 16, how they shall get a chip in their hand or their forehead. If you go into that Greek word, it says metapon. Okay, basically your frontal lobe, your brain. Okay, which its functions is your frontal lobe. That deals with how you think, logical reasoning, your motor skills. But let's continue. It says health crisis leading to new control structures. Yeah. So a health crisis, we might 2026 we might see something, man. It might surpass the you know what happened in 2020. Okay, and also speaking of health crisis, remember Trump, all right, passed for the health the health organization or the deals the medical everything to be like transferred digitally, like all your information. That's just one step closer to the chip, but or that's just one step closer to the chip, but everything is gearing towards the digital system. All right, because you had Dr. Oz and what's the guy's name, Robert F. Kennedy, if I'm not if I'm corrected, but they're the ones that's ahead of the health organization, but they just try to find the words to say the whole health the whole medical field. They're gonna make it easier by linking it with you know linking it with the digital system. All right, instead of going to the office, you got to write down on paper. Now all your information will be stored. It will be all your information will be digital. All right, and it'll be that much quicker. All right, Salaki, okay, it's kind of late. I'm kind of tired. Can't really think right now, but let's continue. It says DNA based ID or tracking, farmer power rising. This always ties into the idea that the next wars are biological and informational. Robots and exoskeleton figures, rise of the machine workforce, right? AI is going to take over a lot of jobs, like these robots, once they start distributing them out into these different workforce. You will see these robots soon. AI replacing jobs, automation accelerating, the merging of human plus machine, transhumanist agenda imagery, right? Transhumanism, all right, merging man with machine. Okay, this also ties into the worker of the future is not human, a major elite theme. Mass of people with flags, geopolitical realignment. There are tiny clusters of human crowds holding flags, possible interpretation, nationalist movements rising, global protests, governments collapsing or realigning. 2026 is an election heavy year around the world. This may hint that the world map is being redrawn through ideology rather than borders. Yeah, and you had all these collapses of, well, I don't say all these collapses, but some of these countries already, like Nepal. Yeah, that was like a freaking coup, man. All right. They just used them Gen Zs, but that was a freaking coup. Okay. But yeah, 2026, man, we might see some countries actually collapse, like full on just collapse. And then, they restart, and you already know it's going to be some things change. All right. That's going to align with the NWO. But let's continue. The boat plus flood imagery, migration, and climate. There's a boat loaded with people and water like swirls, symbolic decode, mass migration events, rising sea levels, climate refugees. You got a lot of course, out here in America, a big migration problem. That's why ICE is going after Jake, because they're only going after Jake too. They're not going after these different nations, like people from Asia or Europe or whatever, or Africa. They're only going after Jake, man. So-called Latinos primarily. But in Europe too, they have a big migration problem out there. I was looking at some videos. I'm like, God damn, and those migrants are a problem. They just going around raping women. All right. It says, this is one of the most repeated economist warnings. Number 8, red dollar symbols financial crisis. Money icons are broken and scattered violently, can symbolize major market correction. Currency collapse, like, hey, that's gonna come. Shift to digital currency, CBDC, that's coming too. Debt crisis. Economics covers love hiding financial prophecy inside art. Yep. Subliminal messaging. The person holding the cable, the hidden operator. At the bottom right, a person pulls a single cable connected to the entire globe. Symbolic meanings: a puppet master, a single point of failure, centralized digital infrastructure, power concentrated into the hands of the new. This might be tech elites, AI controllers, intelligence agencies, energy system overlords. It's deliberately ambiguous. Number 10, why is everything spinning? The whole world looks like a chaotic sphere spinning out of control. Symbolic decode: turbulence, acceleration, a change, a world overwhelmed by complexity. The singularity spiral. 2026 is symbolism. In the symbolism is a tipping point year. Final conspiracy interpretation. If I read this cover like a coded map, it's saying 2026. Hey, see, pay attention. 2026 will be the clash of AI power, global surveillance, economic reset, and geopolitical fragmentation, with one unseen operator pulling the strings. That's the elites, the Amalekites. All right, Esau, Edom. It reflects a world in chaos, but the chaos is directed. Old systems breaking, new systems rising. Yeah, the human machine era beginning, power shifting away from nations toward networks. Basically, control global transformation. So let's go back to Dabu. I'm gonna end it off. Okay.
Because things stood out. Where's the World Cup going to be for 2026? Where's the Olympics going to be? Because I noticed I seen someone running, but then I seen fighters, and then I seen someone with like a javelin, and then I seen a skier. And I looked up the Winter Olympics, which are going to be held in February, coming up pretty quick. That's going to be in Italy for 2026. So you can see the robots again all over the place, the drones. And what I don't like more than anything are these freaking two big needles one on each side here. Red wine spilled all over the place. It's war. It's a theme of war. See a guy over here, the shoulder launch missile, more tanks.
I'm thinking another pestilence like 2020, but obsolete shit. Okay. Because again, Neuralink is already doing that. All right. I mean, they're not really using syringe, surgical procedures, how they're doing it, but that needle will be definitely used to embed that chip under your skin. But you see it in places like in Sweden, all right? They're chipping some people. Okay, not the whole country, not masses, not a whole lot actually, but still, nevertheless, they're using that syringe to embed that chip under you. But it's all, hey, this is all symbolic. This is, they're telling you, pay attention.
It's a theme of war, attacking America on its birthday, from what I can see. America getting put in shackles. Looks like a global police state. Minus these little dudes on like a Hebrew boat over here, like doing some kind of ritual. Let's go to the center, because this is the biggest thing. It's the most ominous. It is Trump pointing at X marks the spot, and it's an X over a graph, and this signifies to me with the money, the economy is going down, as it shows on the graph, and the swords are on top of it. He's pointing at it. Trump is on record saying he was sent to reset this whole thing, and they're about to do it. And I've told you, by April or May of 2026, they're going to put a new guy into the Federal Reserve.
Yep.
To replace Powell. Yeah. And they're all about pushing this Mar-a-Lago Accord, which is all about rolling out a reset of everything for everyone that's been sleeping on it. Right? So now they're showing you, they're telegraphing in their sigil magic here on the cover of their elite magazine, because commoners don't really read this or look at this. It's made for the elites. It always has been. Okay? But you can see Putin, Xi Jinping, Netanyahu here, and Trump all surrounding this event. And again, this is the biggest thing to me.
They do this for each other. It's kind of like messaging, like giving a message to the elites, like, yeah, we're on board. All right.
It is signifying an economic collapse. Look at Japan, Germany, France right now. Look at the money going down. Look at the gavel. Judgment. And a tattered dollar sign below it. Oh, yeah. There is economic doom coming, forecasted off this cover. That's for sure. War all over the place.
Yep.
Accelerated. And you can see Zelensky sitting over here by himself and all this. Yeah, man. I see war and economic downfall and potentially an attack on America on its birthday. That's what they're showing here. Missiles all over the place. They're actually shooting at the birthday cake, which is on the 4th of July, which they're supposed to be having a big UFC event at the White House. There's even fighters right there.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I see in a nutshell. I wanted to share it with you and to say, hey, look at what they put out here. And they've been known to hit spot on certain things in the past. And there you go. That is a look at it right there. I'll go into it.
And Shalom. Hey, stay ready. Because it's about to go down. Okay. Shalom.